Katherines, and welcome to part 1 of my summer reading haul. This is physical books, so I'm going to split it into 3 sections. First, physical books, second, Kindle books, and a third, fan fiction. Yeah, well, this is the physical book section, and I was going to do like normal books and then fan fiction, but since I have 5 books, physical books lined up here, I'm not sure how many I read over the summer. Let me count that, how many like in total books and fan fiction I read this summer. So over July and August I read 17 books and fan fiction. 5 of those were physical. I think 5 were fan fiction, 4 were fan fiction, and that means 17, did I say? 8 were Kindle books. So if you want to see Kindle books wrap up, that's going to be coming out next week, and then fan fiction the week after, or I might do it on Sunday. Depends when I have the motivation to film, but this should be coming out tomorrow on the 11th of September. Sorry, I was meant to put this up earlier, but I just haven't had the time to film. So, as I was saying, I decided to do 5 physical books because I got the 5 here and I was like, okay, let's do them from order of worst to best books. And so I lined them up in the order of my physical books, and I found out that I have 5 physical books. 1 is 1 star, 1 was 2 star, 1 was 3 star, 1 was 4 star, 1 was 5 star, and I thought that was very poetic and I loved that. So yeah, we're gonna go from worst to best, and I'll tell you when I read them, what I gave them, why I gave them what I did, and hopefully you can get a recommendation from the 5-star book on it, which was so good, and I won't keep yapping about it. Yeah, so the first book, I'm going from 1 to 5 star, so the 1 star book, unpopular opinion, this was a book which everybody seemed to love, everybody seemed to give it 5 stars, and I thought it was a rip-off of The Hunger Games, of Anne of Red Queen, and that is Powerless by Lauren Roberts. So, I read this book so long ago, about a month ago, and it took me about a month, and I gave it 1 star. So, if you don't know, this is about, I can't even remember, this girl called Baden, who is an ordinary in a world of elites, and she has to like convince everyone she's an elite. And as you can see, no, you actually cannot see, maybe you can mainly see, I tabbed some bits because I personally hated the main character. I thought he was really not nice. I'm pretty sure he says, like, his character was built up to be like, everyone like matters, like I love everyone. There was like his arc during the book where he was like, oh yeah, I saved these people, I didn't kill them. And then there's a quote in here that's like, he's meant to be the leader of an army general. There's a quote in here that's like, yeah, like I literally don't care about my soldiers. That's literally what he says. If I won't spoil it by reading it out, but if you want to go, if you have Powerless and you want to go check it out, it's on page 246. Look at it. I thought that was literally, I was already done by then. It took me so long to read it because it was so boring. If you have read this and you haven't read The Hunger Games or the Red Queen series, I'd thoroughly recommend reading those. They're much better, in my opinion. Obviously you're entitled to your opinion, but if you haven't read this and it's on your TBR and you haven't read published this on the 15th of July, and I gave it a 2-star. And in my review, I just said, I've been in the biggest reading slump since I started this. It took me ages to read, maybe because the plot wasn't engaging. I don't remember too much happening in this, which I suppose is the charm of John Green. It's a short book, but it took me a while. And I said I'm undecided on whether I didn't really like it or because I couldn't get into it, because Powerless put me in a slump. Powerless put me in a huge reading slump, and I read this right after, so this might have taken the brunt of it. But it didn't really go anywhere, and some people like that in a book. That wasn't the mood I was going for. That wasn't what I really wanted. Okay, so the next book was my 3-star book. As you can tell, I can yap about 1-star books, I can yap about 5-star books, but in between, I don't have as much to say. So this was a 3-star book. It was fine. So it was multiple perspectives, and I liked some of the perspectives more than others. And that is the Atlas 6 by Olivia Blake. So I bought this at the airport to go to Italy, and I didn't read it in Italy, I read it when I got back. It was fine. Oh yeah, sorry, I'm just like reading my Goodreads in the description if you guys want to look at that. But at the beginning, I actually enjoyed it. Because you were learning about everyone's powers. It's basically a world where the best magicians, it says here, they're not magic, they use magic, are invited to be in this, I'm literally just reading the blurb, elite Alexandrian society. So there's this society, and it's like the secret society, and only the really magical people get chosen for it, and then I think there's 6 people, but only 5 places are offered. And it follows 6 people, and it's 6 perspectives, so it switches between all their perspectives, and I personally liked some more than others. And one thing that I really liked about this, I literally can't find it anywhere. So in here, wait, let me find my favourite one. Yeah. There was art of all the characters throughout the book. This was one of the characters. I just thought that was a really cute touch, and I kept looking back to imagine them in my head. I don't have too much to say. It was a fantasy. If you like that kind of thing, I would recommend it, but I wouldn't say it's not put it on your bookshelf right now. Go, no, just check it out. If it sounds good to you, that's good. Okay, the next book was, so I logged it as a 4 on Goodreads, but it was a 3.5, but it was a high 3.5, not a low one. Usually 3.5s I rate as 3, but this one was 4. So this is another really, really popular TikTok book, like Powerless, except it was fine. But most people, I've seen a lot of people saying it was 5 stars. I said I wanted to finish the series. I'll just tell you what it is. It's The Cruel Prince by Holly Black, which is hyped up so much. It's another fantasy. And it's about a girl. Some non-magical girl you'll know all about that when you watch my part 3. But yeah, I'll try and check out the second book. Because Hayley Jean ASMR loves this book. And I didn't mind it. It was fine. Okay, but this next book, the 5-star read. One of my favourite books of the summer. I think my 3rd favourite book of the summer. But I thought nothing was going to top it, honestly. When I read it, I sobbed my heart out. And it's a genre that I don't usually read. It's sci-fi. And it's, again, very popular. And that is Project Hail Mary by Andy Weir. So someone very kind sent me this from my Amazon wishlist. They sent me 2 books, 5 Survive and Project Hail Mary. I was so shocked when I got it in the mail. I think it was in May. And I just didn't get around to reading this, and I wish I read it sooner. It's about this guy, and he's the only survivor left on this mission that was sent to save Earth. And then, let me just read the last sentence of the blurb. It's up to him to puzzle out an impossible scientific mystery, and he's got to do it all alone. ... Or does he? Or does he? Does he have to do it all alone? You'll see if you read the book, which you should. You should. I said in my review, it's such a good book. I said the ending, the flashbacks, the friendship, the science. I said even though this was about maths, it's still very easy to understand. And I would recommend it even if the description of the book like makes you not want to read it. Yeah, it made me feel smart while reading it, because he was using like mathsy, sciencey, physicsy words, but I still understand it. And this is also a Barack Obama Book of the Year, if you're wondering. I just found that out. But yeah, that is my 5-star book. So I read 5 physical books, and the 1-star was Powerless, the 2-star was An Abundance of Katherines, the 3-star was The Atlas 6, the 4-star or the 3.5 was The Culprits, and the 5-star was Project Hail Mary. So yeah, if you are taking anything away from this video, it's to read Project Hail Mary by Andy Weir. It was so good, and even if you don't like sci-fi, I literally don't read sci-fi at all. I was trying to find somewhere on my shelf to put it, and I don't have any other sci-fi books, so it was just by itself next to